Hey guys, what is up? It is Psycho311 here, doing another pickups video. It has been quite a long time since I've done a pickups video. It was going kind of slow there for a while. My car broke down, so I don't have really a way to get around. So I haven't been able to go to places. But I've made a few deals with Letgo, which is an awesome site. If you guys don't use it, you should try it out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. Me, I just do mainly gaming related stuff. So I'm going to jump right in. A lot of this stuff is over the course of like the past month and a half, so there is quite a few things to show. First things I'm going to show are thrift store things, and then I'll show the Letgo stuff. And I even have something new to show, and I mean new, like not retro, but something that I actually picked up for my Xbox One that I think is worthy to show. It is, after all, a pickup. So jumping right into the thrift store pickups. These pickups are over the course of the past like month and a half since I've done a video. So I'll get right into those. I paid $2 each for most of these, and I'll tell you the price that I paid when I didn't pay $2. Okay, so the first thing I got, which I did not pay $2 for, I only bought this because it was the only thing I found, and it was complete in box, and they charged me 50 cents for it. It is a complete in-box copy of CSI for PC. It was a slow day. It was the only thing they had, so I was like, what the heck, 50 cents, I'll buy it. It does come with everything. Has the box, the original box it came in. And like I always say, I'm not a PC gamer. I don't have one, and I don't play PC games. But I don't mind collecting them because, after all, they are still games. And who knows, maybe somebody would want to trade one day for it. But yeah, so CSI for the PC, complete in box, 50 cents, 53 cents with tax. So that's kind of cool. Alright, here's the $2 pickups. Each of these were $2, unless otherwise stated. I will let you know. This is a PlayStation 2 game called Power Drone that I picked up because I had never heard of it. Thought, oh, maybe it's hard to find or rare or whatever. It is not. But whatever. It's something to add to the collection. Next game is for the original Xbox, Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot Edition, which was a Blockbuster exclusive. I figured, hey, usually things that are exclusive to certain stores can be valuable, and I like the Outlaw Golf series, so either way, it's a cool little find. It is not valuable, but whatever. I like the Outlaw Sports series, so I don't mind. I got a copy of SOCOM 3 U.S. Navy SEALs original black label version. That means really nothing here in this case because this is also not valuable. This was $2 at a thrift store. The SOCOM series is actually kind of cool. So it's a cool find. Next thing was the same thing as the Outlaw Volleyball. This is the Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas, or Xmas if you want to say that, expansion that was also a Blockbuster exclusive. It is not valuable, but I think I have now completed my Outlaw Golf collection. So, yeah, that was $2. A copy of NFL Fever 2003. Don't really usually pick up sports games, but it was, I was digging through the games, and there was really nothing. And I do like sports games, so I picked it up. I was like, hey, it's $2, and whatever, you know. It's something to add to the collection. I don't have to dig around for it later when I'm trying to complete. Next game is a game that I got when the original Xbox first came out. I got it that Christmas it came out, and this was one of the games I had for it. And I really enjoyed it a lot, and I found it for $2, so I picked it up. It is a copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X for the original Xbox. I think this game is really cool. It has all the levels from 1 and 2, plus a few levels that were not in either of those games. So back in the day, I was a huge Tony Hawk's Pro Skater fan, so that's actually cool that I found that. Keeping with the extreme sports theme, a copy of Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2 for the original Xbox. I don't think I played 2, but I did have one for the PS1. So eventually I will get to this and try it out. Oh, and just, I have not mentioned this, but most of these games are complete in box with manuals, and the discs are in really decent shape, so that's cool. What's next? next? A PlayStation 2 copy of Hot Shots Golf 4. I like the Hot Shots Golf series. I actually have 2 copies of the original for the PS1. So, yeah, complete inbox. Doesn't look like anyone ever even bothered to touch the manual. Disc is in great shape. So yeah, $2 for Hot Shots Golf 4 for the PS2. Next is a copy of, with manual, and I think other inserts. Yeah, other Microsoft inserts. A copy of Amped for the original Xbox. I have never played the Amped series. So, I got a lot of extreme sports games. I didn't realize that. But it's a copy of Amped for the original Xbox. Pretty cool game. It looks cool anyway. I looked up some videos online. Up next is a copy of 007 Agent Under Fire, which I did not ever play any of these 007 games, but one of my friends, when they found out I had this, said that this game was actually really cool. So maybe I'll try it out. This does not have the manual, but the disc is in pretty good shape. This was another situation where this was the only game the place had, and I didn't want it, but I was like, hey, if I'm a collector, I'm going to have it to complete my collection, so I bought it for $2 anyway. It is Disney High School Musical Sing It. I have children, so maybe one day they will play it. It doesn't have the manual, but I don't really care. It's just to add to the collection. My kids might be into it. I will never play this game. I picked it up simply because it was the only one they had. Up next was a copy of Rocky, which I thought was kind of cool find. It's not really too valuable. I paid $2 for it, and it looks cool, and I've heard that it was actually kind of a fun game. And it says on the back here that IGN.com said it was absolutely stellar. So, no manual, but a copy of Rocky, nonetheless. What is this? I got this for $2. It's a copy of RC Revenge Pro for the PS2. I had never heard of this game, so I picked it up thinking that maybe there was a slight chance that it might be rare. It is not, but filling out the collection, as anyone who collects games or watches videos of this kind knows, like, you gotta have everything. So. And here's a game, PS2 game. I remember this game when it was new. I had never played it, but I remember making fun of it when I seen it at the store. I found it for $2, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. It doesn't have the manual, but whatever. I don't care. Big Mother Truckers. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't know. This guy down here kind of looks like Sloth from the Goonies. His eyes all, like, lowered. And I don't know. I still have not tried this. I'll throw it in one day and get it probably a laugh or two out of it, so that's cool. And the next 2 games that I picked up, one is not super valuable. It's not valuable at all, really, but it's a game I actually really, really enjoyed. So when I came across this, I was like, wow, I cannot believe that I just found this game for $2, and it's a game I absolutely love and still play it. I didn't hook up my original Xbox, but I found out it was backwards compatible on the 360. So my 360 is hooked up right here, so I threw this game in and it worked. And so I've been playing it on my 360. It is a copy of Manhunt. And I suggest if you are a fan of horror-themed games, if you come across a copy of this, you have an original Xbox or a 360 or a PS2, try this game. It is awesome. I love this game. $2 for Manhunt on the original Xbox. I didn't even know this was on the Xbox. I thought it was PS2 exclusive, but apparently not. Because here it is. Oh, there's another game in here. Oh, that's right. This was a loose disc that I found at the same thrift store when I bought Manhunt. I had never heard of it, so I bought it thinking like, oh, you know, it's rare or whatever. But nah, it's not really worth anything, and I don't have a case anyway, so it would be disc only. But it's a game called, for the PS2, called Top Gun Combat Zones. Never heard of it, never played it. I imagine it's some kind of dogfighting simulator. So, that'd be pretty cool. And here's the last of the older pickups that I got, which I was super surprised to find this. Usually this place has PS2 and Xbox originals. This is an Xbox 360 game. I usually don't go that new when I'm retro game collecting, but I couldn't pass this up for $2 because I like this franchise, and I actually spent quite a lot of time playing this since I've gotten it. It is a copy of Forza Motorsport 4 for the Xbox 360 that I paid $2 for. This game is fantastic, worth every single penny. I probably would have picked this up if it were like $10. I probably still would have got it. But nonetheless, $2 for a copy of Forza 4. Great deal. Game is awesome. If you are a fan of racing games a tiny bit, the Forza franchise is amazing. I have not played Forza 3. I hear it's fantastic. But I have played Forza Horizon 1 and 2. And Forza now 4, 5, and 6. Those are, I've never played 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, Forza 4 for $2. That is crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to get to, these are other thrift store things I found. I walked into the place not thinking there would be much. I have a guy that holds games for me. These games must have slipped past him because I found them on the shelf in a spot where they don't even usually keep games. I caught him out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, wow, I can't believe this. I just found a bag full of Game Boy Advance stuff. So it's marked $2, so I paid $2 for this whole bag. And it's a bunch of like kids' games. A couple of them are geared towards girls. I have children, so it doesn't matter. And some of them I discovered were actually videos, so I'm going to go through the video ones first. You know, something for the kids to watch on a car trip or whatever. But $2 for this whole bag of stuff was actually well worth it, I think, in my opinion. But the first video cart is it is a Pokemon video. I have not watched it, so I'm not really sure. Man, my stuff is going to fall. It says something on there. I'm not sure what video it is, but it's a Pokemon video for the Game Boy Advance. I'll put them back in the bag as I go through them, or I'll just throw them on the floor. The next one is SpongeBob SquarePants Volume 3, which, honestly, I threw this in and started watching it. And it was, if you're a SpongeBob fan, the episode was the episode where the food critic comes in and says that SpongeBob forgot to put the pickles on the Krabby Patty. Classic episode. I'm a SpongeBob fan. I have children, so I just blame me liking that show on them. But it's actually a funny show. And some of the jokes are not for kids, but kids don't know that, so. And the next thing is actually duplicate video things. So one of them I would be willing to part with. It is a Cartoon Network collection for the Game Boy Advance, the videos. And it is 2 of them. So for whatever reason, whoever donated this bag of games and videos had 2 of the exact same one for whatever reason. Okay, now, and here's the games. Which, like I said, they're geared towards children, so whoever had this had kids, but whatever, add it to the collection. This game is called Evergirl, which I will never probably ever play it, but my 8-year-old daughter will probably give this one a whirl. Yeah, give it a whirl. Evergirl for the Game Boy Advance. This next one, wow, this print is kind of hard to read, so I'm not even going to try to. It is a Bratz game for the Game Boy Advance. I'm old and my eyesight is bad, so I'm having a hard time reading the subtitle. But you don't care about the subtitle, it's a Bratz game. So yeah, Bratz for the Game Boy Advance. What is this one? This game is Cartoon Network Block Party for the Game Boy Advance. And finally, in that bundle is a Harry Potter game for the Game Boy Advance. I'm not sure which one it is. Like I said, on my old eyes, can't read that small print in this terrible lighting, so I'm not even going to try. So this whole bag of stuff, which is 8 carts, was $2. So even if it's nothing I'll ever play, I can have stuff to help complete the GBA collection. And like I said, it's only $2. Now here's the interesting thing about this. Sitting next to this bag of GBA carts was this copy of Perfect Dark for the N64, which I did not have Perfect Dark. And so I was like, okay, I got this bag of GBA stuff for $2, and I'm going to grab this Perfect Dark. So I bring the stuff up to the counter, and it's the lady that's always there. I go there all the time. The thrift store is actually on the street I live on. It takes me like a minute to walk there. So I bring the bag of GBA carts up there along with my copy of Perfect Dark. And she picks up Perfect Dark and she says, hey, there's no sticker on this. Did you happen to know how much it was? I said, no. It didn't say. I didn't talk to anybody. So she just rang it up along with these. So this copy of Perfect Dark was free at the thrift store I went to. So I paid $2.12 for this bag of GBA carts and this copy of Perfect Dark for the N64. $2. So that was actually a cool deal, but that was the only thing I picked up that week, which is kind of a bummer. But hey, I don't find N64 carts in this particular thrift store ever. So finding Perfect Dark was a score, in my opinion. What's next? Okay, here is a couple of pickups I got Monday. They're all PlayStation 2 games. I thought it was going to be a slow week starting off Monday morning. So I bought these thinking, hey, this is going to be all I get. And it turns out that it actually got much better from there. So I'm going to go through these pickups, and then I'm going to go through all my Lecco deals. This was a PlayStation 2 copy of Super Trucks Racing I picked up because I had never heard of the game. Comes with the manual, everything. Oh, wow. You know what? I never noticed that. I never bothered to actually look at the disc. This is not Super Trucks Racing. I'm discovering this right now as we make this video. So, the box says Super Trucks Racing, but it is actually Crash of the Titans. So now I'm going to have to go back and check and see if this is worth anything. Yeah, Crash of the Titans. So I'm assuming it's a Crash Bandicoot themed game. But it was in a Super Trucks Racing box. So, yeah, this is not Super Trucks Racing. It is Crash of the Titans. I'm going to have to go back and check into that. Next game I picked up for $2 was a PS2 copy of The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Don't know anything about Lord of the Rings or anything like that. I'm not a fan. But like I said, I thought it was going to be a slow week, and it was complete in box. So I picked it up anyway. I played a little of Shadow of Mordor for the Xbox One. And like I said, I don't really know much about the franchise, so. And then the final thrift store pickup that I picked up was a complete copy of Wipeout Fusion for the PS2. I remember playing Wipeout on the original PlayStation and really enjoying it. I like racing titles. So I've never played Wipeout Fusion, but now I have it, so I can. And yeah, $2. Okay, so now I am oh, here's one more pickup. Typically, if they are complete DS games or any kind of handheld games there, or even incomplete like Game Boy carts or whatever, I'll pick those up. And I found this DS game. I don't currently have a DS. I did. It's either somewhere around here or somebody swiped it or whatever, but I don't have one anymore. But I picked this up anyway. It was complete in the box, and the cart's in great shape. It is a copy of Lego Indiana Jones, The Adventure Continues, for $2. Cool little game to add to my DS collection, because I do have a DS collection, because like I said, I did have one, but I do not anymore. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the Lecco deals. Okay, so Monday I'm on Letgo, and I see Sega Dreamcast. Don't have a Sega Dreamcast, have never had a Sega Dreamcast, want one. The guy's asking $50 for it. $50 is a good deal. But typically, whenever I make an offer on Letgo, well, not even so much make an offer, but anytime I ask a question, like I'll start off with, will you go lower? And Not that that price is high. I thought it was a pretty good deal, but that's just how I always do it. Because if I can get it for lower, why just say like, hey, I'll pay the full price. So I always go, hey, can I get it for lower? 99% of the time the people are like, no, and that's fine. But this guy was like, I'll do it for 40. All right, so I have no car. So I'm saying to this guy, hey, if you can bring this to me, I will give you $40 right now. Now, he lives a couple of towns away. I figured he'd say no, like, hey, that's kind of out of the way. He replied back, hey, I'll do it. So, for $40, I got this Sega Dreamcast, which I have actually been playing. It works perfectly. Nothing wrong with it. This Sega Dreamcast with NFL 2K1 is currently in it. I was playing that earlier today. The game that was actually in the console when I got it doesn't have a case, but whatever. This copy of Virtua Tennis. This copy of Virtua Striker 2. All the hookups, which I'm not going to show because they're just stupid wires. This third-party Dreamcast controller, which is a monster of a controller. This third-party Dreamcast controller, which is also quite monstrous. And this standard issue Sega-themed, well, not Sega-themed, but Sega-licensed first-party controller. I don't have a VMU, which means I can't save. They did come with these. I am actually not sure what these are. So if you guys can leave in the comments and let me know what these things are. Marty, I'm looking at you, buddy. There were two of them, but they're not save things. I don't know what they are, but they plug into the controller nonetheless. And then on top of that, he says, hey, I threw this in because you can go online with this. He threw in this 8-port Ethernet switch for free. He's like, hey, you can hook it up to that and go online and play Dreamcast with people. And I'm thinking, who's playing Dreamcast online right now? But whatever. He threw it in there. I took it. So for $40, I got the 3 games, the Dreamcast with all the hookups, 3 controllers, and an 8-port Ethernet switch, which I thought was a great deal, man. So now I finally have a Dreamcast. So if any of you guys out there have any Dreamcast stuff that you'd be willing to trade or sell, I would be most grateful, and I would probably take it off your hands. So that was Monday's Lecco deal. Tuesday's Lecco deal, same guy, who I actually have a dialogue with now, and I talk to him quite often, because this guy cleans storage sheds, and he says he goes into people's houses that like passed away or moved and left stuff. He does that kind of work. He cleans them, and he said that he finds stuff almost every single day. So right now I'm working a deal with him for Game Boy Advance with some games. Even though I have a Game Boy Advance already, I'll probably use that as trade bait, or maybe I'll just sell it off. But he's got games which I'm interested in. And then yesterday he told me he found an original Xbox and an NES Advantage controller, which I don't care really about the Xbox. I'd probably just sell that or trade it because I have one. But I do want that NES Advantage. But anyway, here's Tuesday's deals. I made a trade. Nothing too valuable. Something that I was just trying to get rid of anyway. But, and I will tell you why I made this trade. It's a handheld bundle, but that's cool. I like handhelds. And it came in this Mighty Beans tin that he gave to me with everything. I don't know what Mighty Beans are, but apparently everyone else I work with, because he brought it to my job, everybody else knew what Mighty Beans were. I never heard of them. Okay, so in this bundle, I'll start with the games. Was this copy of the original Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. The label's kind of in bad shape, but I popped it in and it works perfectly. Super Mario Land was actually a really great game for the original Game Boy. This copy of Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land, the label's in terrible shape, but he threw that in the trade. I don't know. It is what it is. It's in bad shape, but I don't have this game anyway, so I'll hang on to it until I can get either a better copy or maybe I'll just hang on to this one. I don't know. These two came with cases, or this copy of Tom and Jerry for the Game Boy. These two came in cases. It is a copy of NBA Jam for the Game Boy. Like, I don't know, that seems weird, like NBA Jam on the Game Boy. And this copy of the original Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy. So those are the games that were in the bundle. There were 3 systems. 2 of them work, 1 does not yet because there's a lot of corrosion around the terminals. I just have to clean it up and then I'll get it working. But and you'll know that this is the piece that I was the most excited for. So first, this was one of the consoles in it, was an Atomic Purple Game Boy Color, which I already have this exact model, and both are in perfect shape, so this will probably be either for sale or trade if any of you are interested in getting a hold of the Game Boy Color. Atomic Purple is actually, for whatever reason, one of the more expensive ones I found online. So, yeah, it's cool. Now I have 2 of these. It's got the battery thing still on here. It's in, like, excellent shape. There's a couple of scratches or whatever, like, not too bad, though. It's still workable. Everything, it works great. So I got those 5 Game Boy games. This Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. This purple Game Boy Color, which is missing the battery thing, but whatever, I could probably pay $1 or $2 and get another one. So that's cool to have. I had this, to me it looks blue. I guess it would be grape. Would this be the grape color? I don't know. It looks blue to me. Maybe it's the grape one. I don't know. Regardless, this Game Boy Color and this item that I have actually been looking for, and is the whole reason that I made this deal, was the patriarch of the Game Boy family, the original brick Game Boy, which I've been trying to add to my collection for some time now. And it does not currently work. There's a lot of corrosion around the terminals that I got to clean up. You can see it in there. It's kind of gross or whatever. I just haven't gotten around to cleaning it. But, yeah, it's got the thing that goes on the battery. Everything's in great shape. The screen is cool. It's smudged up, but it's cleanable. It's not broken or scratched or anything. So, yes, finally got my hands on one of the original Game Boys, which is why I even wanted to do this trade. He could have just said, hey, I'll trade you, blah, 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 for just the brick Game Boy, but he gave me this whole deal. So, in that deal, I got, oh, and I got these too. I didn't even know about this. He said he was just going to, he opened the tin and showed them to me. He's like, hey, I just threw these in. And I'm super stoked because I always like to add to the collection for this console. There's 2 N64 cartridges. One was Turok 2 Seeds of Evil that he just threw in for free. And a copy of, which I did not have, GoldenEye 007, which is one of the more popular titles. So, I've gotten 2 relatively popular N64 games for absolutely nothing. And that would be the GoldenEye 007 and the Perfect Dark that I picked up. That was free. So that's cool. So those were in the bundle. That was the handheld bundle that I picked up Tuesday. So now, here's what I got today. I spent $20 on this, and I spent the $20 for just one particular game, but I got 3. It was a Leco deal. The guy was selling one game. I said, hey, do you have anything else? And he's like, here's what I have to part with. I was like, okay, well, if you make me a deal, I'll take them both. This was this morning at about 10 o'clock. So first I'll show there was 2 Genesis games and a Game Boy game. Obviously the Genesis games I didn't have, so I don't mind adding them to my collection, but this is not why I got this bundle. So the first one is Tecmo Super Bowl. It says Tecmo Super Bowl, but when I opened it up, and the guy said it was this game too, so I already knew. I just didn't know it was going to come in the original Tecmo Bowl case. It's actually Tecmo Super Bowl 3. It's not the original, but it came in the original Tecmo Super Bowl case. So whatever, that's fine. I got that today. And a copy of Madden 97 today. Comes with the manual, the cartridge, everything is cool and in working order. And I even told the guy when I was making the deal with him, I was like, hey, I wouldn't mind having those Genesis games, but sports titles aren't really worth a whole lot. So the deal was I paid $5 a piece for these Madden game or these football games for the Genesis, and then $10 for the Game Boy cartridge, which is the whole reason I even did this deal. This game is worth more than $10, and it's a fantastic game. And I've never had it before, but I do have it now, and I was actually playing it when I brought it home. I wish I could have got it a little cheaper, but $10 seems fair since I've seen it going for $25 to $30 online. A copy of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. He posted that when I went on Let Go to check my other messages. It said that the guy had posted this 20 minutes ago, and I contacted him and said, "Hey, I'll do the deal." And that's when I was like, "Hey, do you have any other old stuff?" He said he had some Super Nintendo stuff and stuff like that, but he didn't want to get rid of that. But he told me, he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo. I was like, well, I don't have any of that stuff, and even if I did, I'd only have one copy, so I'm not trying to get rid of it." But yeah, so the sports games were just icing on the cake. $5 a piece ain't a big deal. But the Zelda game for $10, to me, was worth it. Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. That's what I got today. And there's one more thing I want to show, which, man, this was a great week for collecting with the Dreamcast and the handheld bundle. So now I have 5 Game Boys, and I have a deal working right now where tomorrow I'm getting some more stuff. I think I'm getting another Game Boy Advance and then a bunch of games for that. So that'll bring my total up to 6. And I actually have a Game Boy Advance already, so I might actually, depending on the color, I might actually use that Game Boy Advance as trade bait or sell that off too. But before I go, I said I did have a new game that I just picked up for my Xbox One. And since it is a pickup, I will show it, and I kind of want to talk about it for a minute or two, because it is fantastic, and it has not been selling well because the dumb people who make the game decided to put it out in between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. But I've been playing this, and it is awesome. If you guys have even the slightest interest in first-person shooters, I suggest picking this up for either the PS4 or the Xbox One. It is a copy of Titanfall 2. I had the first one, loved the first one, bought the second one on Sunday. I can't say enough good things about this. It has a campaign now. The campaign is awesome. The multiplayer is awesome. There's a new game mode on the multiplayer called Bounty Hunter, which is a really cool new mode where you collect bounties throughout the match and kill other human opponents and collect money. But the catch is you have to deposit the money into banks that are strewn around the map. Then there's attrition, the classic mode, and hard points, stuff like that. You know, your basic multiplayer stuff. But this game, Titanfall 2, is fantastic. I suggest picking it up. And yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for this video. Like I said, I should be getting some more stuff tomorrow. Probably be picking up pickups throughout the week, doing Let Go deals. I have some offer-up deals working right now with some regular Nintendo games, hopefully some Super Nintendo games from somewhere else. So hopefully that works out. I'm trying to make it so that I don't have to pay for them. I would rather trade stuff. And so far that's been working out pretty well. But if I can get a good deal and have to pay actual money, and it's a good deal in my opinion, then I'll probably do that. But like I said, that's all the pickups I got to show for now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the support that you guys throw me. Again, if anyone knows what these are for the Dreamcast controllers, hit me up in the comments. And like I said, I'm looking at you, Marty, because I know you know what these are. Hit me up. I've been doing Twitch again recently. I've been actually streaming Titanfall 2. So if you guys are on the fence about it, hit me up tonight and every other night at approximately 12 midnight. If you're up, I stay up late. It's twitch.tv/psycho311. If you have this game, come on there and play it with me. If not, and you're on the fence about picking it up, come check it out. It's an awesome game, Titanfall 2. Like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me you like it, tell me you hate it. And before I go, if I have duplicates of anything, which I do, consoles and games, and you guys have something I might be interested in, hit me up in the comments or on Facebook at Warren Klarman. And let me know what you guys have. And if I think it's a good deal, I will not hesitate to either mail or, if you live close enough, to meet you somewhere to pick it up. But yeah, guys, hopefully I will see you all on Twitch tonight. And hit like and follow on there too. That'd be awesome. But yeah, tonight is going to be Titanfall 2. So come join me for that. And again, guys, thanks for the support. I'll be back next time with some more pickups. Later.